What's going on, my beautiful treeple? We are live, back on an exciting journey. So as you see, we have a raised bed right here, and where we're at right now is we are taking a field trip back to my girlfriend's house. So this is the plant venture that we're on. If you guys saw a previous video that I shared with you guys saw where I built this raised bed. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk about everything and the progress and the updates on how it looks and what's growing on. So I invite you to join me every berry as we venture off to this plant venture. So let's take a look and see what we have right here now. And we had planted some carrots, lettuce, celery, kale, and spinach. So far I see, looks like the carrots are coming up. It looks like they're doing all right. The kale is pretty beautiful. We have, let's see what we have right here. We have some, this is white Siberian kale. So this is what white Siberian kale. I see there's maybe some damage or maybe bugs got a little hungry. We have some red Russian kale over here. You can see this. So these are red Russian kale. Oh, we've got a small dinosaur kale right here. So this looks pretty good. This looks really good. And over here we have, I think this is baby salad spinach. Wow, this is a lot of spinach. So my girlfriend's gonna have a nice salad. I'm looking under the leaves for eggs. So trying to see if there's any cabbage moss laying any eggs. It looks pretty healthy. Everything looks pretty healthy. I mean, my girlfriend maybe watered once or twice or something like that in the beginning. I know we had some rain and, you know, she really didn't have to do anything. So there's no celery or lettuce really that came up. I kind of see some small areas where it looks like it, but right now I don't really see any. So I'm hoping the carrots grow up and become stronger. Now, one thing that I've learned from gardening is right now I'm growing in grow bags. So I have grow bags and I've been experimenting since I've been gardening. And what I did was I grew some dinosaur kale in a grow bag, and that grew very well. It wasn't as big as when I started growing it in a raised bed. The reason being is when you are gardening and you want to get the biggest and the best yield out of your garden, you want to make sure that you have wide growing space and deep growing space. The deeper, that means more soil you have for the roots to grow. The wider, that means you have more room for the roots to go out. Because the way that plants grow, especially things like carrots and spinach and kale, so carrots are a root vegetable. They go straight down. So the fact that they're going down, the roots are growing out of them. But also, there are roots that grow out sideways. So that's why you want to have wide space. Now, this being a small raised bed, there's still a lot of space. This is more than just a small container or pot. So that means that these roots can grow out, they can grow down. Same thing with this kale, same thing with this spinach. That's why it looks so big. Now, as I said, my girlfriend hasn't done that much, so I'm pretty impressed with how this looks. I really hope that the carrots thrive. And that's okay if we don't get any lettuce or any celery, because as you're growing in your garden, you're not going to always have everything grow. You know, seeds have a certain germination rate. It also depends on where you got the seed and how well they took care of it and how they grew their plants. Also have to consider the soil, what you put in it. If it's a nice, healthy, rich, microbial, active soil. You also have to consider the thing that I feel is the most important thing when it comes to gardening, and that's love. You have to love what you do. And when you put in more work in the garden, it's just like taking care of a baby. When you put in a lot of work, you're going to see that baby grow up and thrive and be healthy. So, that's all I have the time to tell you guys right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short video, this update. I know my girlfriend's gonna go ahead and make a salad. So once again, this is Christopher Nuno signing off, Afroganic style, encouraging you all to grow big and grow home. What's growing on my beautiful treeple? This is some bonus footage right now. I do see some celery. There it is right there. My girlfriend caught it. There's some right here. And then there's some right there, that little thing. So, we see the celery growing. Don't see any lettuce, but man, if you look from this angle, it looks like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Oh my goodness, man, it's like a forest in there. So yeah, another thing I wanted to mention too, when you're picking your harvest, you could either use some scissors, some pruners, or you could just use your fingers. So for example, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pick. Now first, before I pick, you want to look at the stalk. So here's the stalk right there. Now if you pick the bigger leaves, it's going to encourage growth from the main stalk. Then this is going to get thicker, and then as it gets thicker over time, the leaves will grow up and produce quicker. So right now what you want to do is you want to pick the outer leaves. You want to get as close to the bottom as possible. You could pinch it, twist it, and pull. You don't want to pull the whole thing out. You could pull the whole thing out, but that ends the harvest of that plant that you sowed. So, to encourage a longer season for you, you want to just pick a few from each plant. That will make more air. You want the plants to be able to breathe. So in order for the plants to breathe, you have to prune. So if I take a few of these off, the outer leaves, okay, mind you, the outer ones, you see the small ones that are growing, you don't want to pick from the inside out, you want to pick from the outside in. Leave a few, and that will encourage the plant to put more energy into the stalk. Now as I'm pruning, like I said, you're encouraging more oxygen, more air to go through here, because as you see, it's hard for me to go through here. So you want to pick and choose where you can harvest, and then make this nice and spacious and make a lot of room for the plant to breathe and grow. All right, hope you enjoyed this bonus footage. Look at how beautiful this looks. This side looks beautiful. This side is still growing. We'll pray for it. But this side is gonna be some nice supper salad. Oh yeah, baby.